Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's bonus banger time, y'all. That's a lock. It's bonus banger time, y'all. That's a lock, and I got one. It's a bonus banger, and I got one. Y'all already know I keep a banger, man, at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning times, and I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it. That's all I want you to do is not go to jail. You trying to tell me you ready to leave your family and go to jail for anything now, man? I don't care what it is, man. Like, do you really want to make that choice? From after we can see now how jail looks on social media, you really trying to go to that place? Anybody that's out here gambling with their life and their freedom right now, and you can see what prison looks like from social media now, you trying to go to that place? I'm not trying to go to that place. I don't want you to go to that place. You need to tell everybody around you that's in the streets not to go to that place, man, because it's not a good place to go, man. It's a crazy place to be, and you're going to regret being there every minute, man. So I'm trying to save y'all right now by just telling y'all to just stay out the way. Period, man. Come on, man. This think, man. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is a bonus banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, share, subscribe, this one, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Came Back a Member. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time. And I'm letting y'all know now, man, like, you will have people in there, man, they'll say they don't like this, they'll say they'll never do this, and next thing you know, years later down the line, that's what they doing. That's what they into, man. I have seen it a million times in there, man. Like, people really don't be knowing what they talk about when it comes to stuff as far as pertaining, like, I'm not never going to join an organization and stuff like that, because you never know what you're going to do. Don't never say never, because you never know what predicament you might be in to be able to have to do this, man. But at the end of the day, you have people like that in prison, man. Like, they'll be this one way. The next thing you know, you see them years later and they a member of the red or the blue or organization or something else. That's just how it going there, man. It goes back to the last joint. A lot of people just like to feel like they got family around them, man. A lot of people want to feel wanted. Like, they got people that actually need them. They got people they can count on. A lot of people look for that void in their life, man. But when that goes on in penitentiary, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, it always turns out to be trouble slightly, man. So with that being said, though, we are on Susses 2 on this one, y'all. We are on Susses 2. And I can remember being in 4C in the beginning on this one, y'all. It's kind of like 4C time, and like, around this time right here, man, there's just so many dudes from Norfolk up there. There's so many dudes from Portsmouth. This is like Tidewater deep up there. Richmond got people up there too. But it was just so many Tidewater dudes up there. So this is around the time, kind of like, you know, the red team has kind of already transitioned into the prison around this time, y'all. Y'all know Virginia, people that just get into my channel, Virginia was late to the party when it came to the red and the blue team in Virginia, man. So like, when I seen it come in penitentiary, it was probably like 03, the end of 03. A few years that went by now. So now they coming in frequently now. Now there's a lot of people that's in there that's in the red team. Not really the blue team yet, but the red team is definitely in the building. So the red team being that deep in the building, it was actually a lot of them in 4 building at the moment, man. And like, my pa had a lot of them too, but I was cool with a lot of them, and a lot of them was from Norfolk. So I just had a cheat code. But a lot of people didn't really know how to handle the red team, man, because sometimes they used to just be like just on BS sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes they used to, because they had nobody to really beef with. I be telling y'all this in stories, but like, the blue team wasn't really like formed yet, like around this time I'm talking about in the story. But like, they really had nobody to go against except people that really didn't like what they was doing. So a lot of people up there that didn't agree with that. Like, this is still times where y'all gotta understand the neutral people stick out too. we stick out slightly like a little member squad or something like that, just on some neutral stuff, because it was like them, and then it was the regular people. Then you got people that been down, like the older dudes in their 30s and 40s that really don't understand this stuff. Like, so they really like rebellious to it and just used to bump heads sometime. Pause. Like, that's how situations used to happen. So around this time right here too, man, like, with all the red team and everybody being deep on the compound, like this when they started bringing up a lot of inmates from St. Bride's. Now, people that don't know what St. Bride's is, that's a level 2 prison. Sussex 2 is a level 4, but St. Bride's is a Tidewater. When I say Tidewater, that's the 7 cities where I'm from, not the 804 side. That's the 7 cities kind of level 2. Deep Meadows is the same thing as far as what 804 have, as far as the open dorm level 2 shot. But that's our joint. But St. Bride's ended up getting a deal with Sussex 2 on some, if you catch a dirty urine on St. Bride's, they were sending you straight to Sussex 2. So it's been a lot of homeboys that I met and that I knew already that came up to Sussex 2 behind the dirty urines, because everybody was messing with the la-la. Y'all know that. So dudes just was coming back to back on Sussex 2. They just catching dirties and they was sending them up to Sussex 2 immediately, man. So it was a lot of people in there from the town. So I can remember meeting this one dude, man. We're going to call him Ace, man. We're going to call him Ace, man. But Ace was a brown-skinned dude, man. You know, he was around my age, probably like a little bit older at the most, man. A little taller than me, my height at the most, man. But he wasn't somebody that, like, you know, he didn't play around. You know, a lot of those dudes that came from St. Bride's, you know, it's a low level. Now, a lot of them be, you know what I mean, still about their action. But, like, you know, when you get to Sussex 2, this is a whole different ball game. Like, you're around the maniacs from the you know, coming from St. Bride's, they're not really around a bunch of maniacs from the 804 like that, because that's like a Tidewater prison, like I was telling y'all. So now getting sent to a level 4, you got to get adapted to, now you're around everybody from Virginia. Like, it ain't like just Tidewater, like you just beefing with Portsmouth and Newport. Nah, you beefing with, you could get beef with anybody else. So it used to be a lot of dudes that come from St. Bride's that didn't really know how to handle that. And being at level 4 could be scary, man. So, like, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of dudes that came up there definitely was with the action. So my homeboy Ace, man, me and Ace, I got cool through my other homeboy, man. I started working out when he came up there. He was in 4B when he first got in the building. But once he seen my man that was from St. Bride's that I used to work out with and I used to kick it with from Norfolk, he seen us up there. He got moved up there. So now he's in the pod with us. Now, Ace didn't have a lot of time left. In the beginning, I really didn't know how much time he had left, man. But, like, Ace just was one of those dudes, like, what I'm doing right now, I ain't even gonna lie, like, I'm shocked that he's not on this camera doing these stories, man, because he was the dude that had the stories. Like, he had so many stories about St. Bride's when we used to be on the yard working out, or maybe we just on the court messing with the la-la, or whatever the case, like, he will always have a great story about St. Bride's. Hey, I remember I had the broad and the look, like he used to know how to tell the story and everything. So, like, that's what he used to always do. He would tell stories. Plus, he just was coming off the street not too long ago. He kept us on the land. So I can remember one time me and him had a conversation with me, him, my homie. It was a couple of us, all us out there, and we was on a big yard and we was all walking laps. And while we was walking laps, we was hitting the la-las, we was hitting laps, but we just minding our own business. As we spun around, we seen that the red team was having like a little meeting in the basketball, but they was on the yard with us, like 8 to 10 of them, and they was talking to the people in the court, like down by 2 building side. So we seen that, so I ain't paying no mind, but I saw it, so we get a little ahead of them. Ace was like, man, that junk crazy. He was like, I remember when we won't no red team. I remember when there won't no red team in Norfolk, man. Look at that junk now, man. So I'm like, yeah, they deep. So we like, yeah. So we all stopped and just hit the fence. So we leaned in on the fence, and my homeboy was like, well, look, let me ask you a question, because like I was in here, me and my homeboy was in the can, kind of like, you know, we seen it come in prison, but like we ain't really like, you know what I mean, from a Norfolk perspective, like, you know what I mean, like we just asked him like, yo, like, bro, how that junk was when it came to the town, how it was. He was like, man, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. All I remember is people just was banging Jim Jones and Dipset, and the next thing you know, everybody was wearing red bandanas, almost out of every major neighborhood in Norfolk. So I'm like, out of every major, because you'll think about all the major neighborhoods and you'll think about all the big hats that kind of used to be like names, big names in those neighborhoods. But like the people that he started talking about and naming, like they converted over to the red team. So like that's how stuff happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like this information could be inaccurate, and this can't be like the facts that I'm telling y'all, but I'm getting information from a dude that was actually on the land when the red team was created in Norfolk, y'all. So boom. So he's giving us a full breakdown of this whole situation. And I'm listening because I was intrigued on a simple fact that, you know what I mean, I always really wanted to know. And this dude was official. I already know Ace was official. The neighborhood he was from in Norfolk was official. So I definitely can take his word. So he like, yeah, he like, man, for real. He started telling me the dudes with the big names out these neighborhoods, they was the one that kind of like, when they turned to the red team, that's what got everybody else to turn to the red team. So that's how it all happened. He was like, then he started saying it was a dude from New York that moved out this neighborhood called Ocean View. And he was like, once he that shot out there, he said that's when stuff started getting lit in Norfolk. And he said, before you know it, everybody you go to the club, everybody had the red bandanas, man. And like, I'm just like, man, like that fast, something can happen. But you see what happens though. Like the people that probably wanted to plant the seed of the red team in Norfolk, like they definitely probably had to go to these big hats in these neighborhoods, and they had to be the one that kind of like let everybody else know how to move, and like people was gonna follow their lead, and that's just how it go. And for real, it was sad to hear that because Norfolk never was that. I'm not saying it never could be that. It just never was. Like me growing up, I don't remember that. Like, I'm telling you, none of that school and none of that. You know, nowadays, that stuff is in school and all of that. Like, when I'm in school, it wasn't none of that. It was neighborhoods. And that's all it was, man. So, like, when Ace gave us the whole count on that jump, man, like, you can just see it in his face, kind of like, as more and more and more he started explaining it, it's like more and more and more, he had a real hate for the red team, y'all. So, boom. So, on that conversation right there, I ain't want to, you know, pry too much. I ain't want to keep, you know what I mean? But I knew it was something else, because like he was like, yeah, because you know, he was like, yeah, because in my neighborhood, yeah, they came and did the same thing, and I could see how his face that he wanted to go into more details, but he didn't. So I left it alone. My homeboy he was listening, but he wasn't really trying to like talk about really what he was thinking about, and I knew it was something else, but I let it go, man. He gave us the breakdown, so it was cool. So as time went on and we was in the pod, Ace, he moved in the cell with a cool old head. Now, the old head was cool. The old head was about to go home. That's what made it good, because him and Ace was about to go home. I think he had like 3. Ace had like 2.5, something like that. But they both was about to go to the crib. So that's what made it, like, Ace Child used to like the old head. He would play chess with him. He was dumb cool. So he was a good celly. So the old head get transferred. So the old head get transferred out of nowhere. They tell him he got to go to a level 2. So he know he about to go home. These are the levels you got to go through. So bro get shipped. So when he gets shipped, Ace was in the cell. Dolo, he was trying to get my homeboy in the room with him. You know what I mean? Like, my homeboy was like, yeah, I'll go in the cell with you. So he was trying to make that move. But the sergeant was BSing. So the sergeant BS for one day. The next day roll around. You look, you see the police coming in, you see the cop coming in. And you just seen a bunch of dudes from the red team and our party. They just ran to the door. They was like, yo, what's poppin', homie? Yo, like, they ran up to him, dapped him up. He was like, yo, what's good? He ain't look like, I seen him doing the compound. He ain't look like he was no slouch or nothing, walking in like he was a leader or nothing like that. But he was a red team member. So the red team came and embraced him. And like, everybody seen it. So like, man, he a red team. So I seen dude a lot of times on the compound. I think he was in one building for a minute. So he come in the block. So he moving around with the red team. So he go straight to bro cells. He go to A cell. So Ace slept in cell 26. So he was upstairs in cell 26. So he taking stuff up there. Ace was already at the door and shit. So Ace is standing at the door. I mean, he come in. I guess he introduced himself to Ace. Ace come down the steps, you know what I mean? Ace come down the steps. We was all sitting at the table. He walked up to us and shit. Like, he put his back he walked up to us and he kind of put his back for like they can't see him. He was like, man, for real, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I don't think I want to borrow my cell. I was like, wow, what's up? You got beef with him or something? He was like, nah, he a red team, man. Like, for real, man, I don't want to be in a cell with nobody from the red team, man. I don't want to hear all that stuff all day. My homeboy was like, bro, he might don't be like that all day. Like, he might just do that outside the cell or something. Like, give him a shot. He was like, man, I don't want to be in a cell with him, man. Like, he might gotta go. He might gotta go. That's word. He might gotta go. So I'm like, this y'all crazy. He like, man, this y'all crazy, man. He was like, man, I'm telling you, man, like, I don't rock with the red team, bro. Like, I was like, man, for real. I was thinking, why you ain't red team anyway? I said, look, why you ain't never joined the red team? And I just threw that question up out the blue. Even the time he even asked this question, because he was already feeling crazy about his new roommate. But I still threw it out there just to kind of get a reaction. I do that from time to time just to get a different reaction off a different emotion that he's on right now. So I threw the question out there, and he was like, what? Man, I don't mess with them, man. Man, I ain't never mess with them, man. I ain't nobody's puppet, man. I ain't finna join that. Nobody's puppet, man. Can't nobody tell me what to do. Yeah, that's why I ain't one of the red team. There ain't nobody tell me what to do. So my homeboy was like, so look, what you had some beef with them in your neighborhood or something? He was like, man, I'm saying, like, you know, that's what you want to call it. Like, yeah, but like we was the ones, like, for real. He was like, I was this close from being on the blue team. He was like, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, we had met these dudes from Cali. And they kind of like, you know what I mean? They gave us the culture on that stuff. And like, you know, we the type, for my neighborhood, like, we don't like the red team. So like, we was just trying to do something just to go against the red team. He was like, but I thought about it. He said, I thought about my daughter. Because bro had a daughter. He was like, I thought about my daughter. And that's why I was like, nah, I ain't being in no organization. So he said he knew some dudes that went on and done it, but he was like, still kind of like, it wasn't like he was affiliated with the blue team. It was just like something that somebody had presented to him. He was like, the dudes that ended up trying to do it with them, he was like, both of them got shot. Because the red team is Maniacville. They too deep, man. In every city they was too deep, man. Real talk. So he broke that. When he broke that down, so he was like, yeah. So he was like, when they hit with my homeboys, he was like, since then, He said, it's just been all out war. He was like, for real, a lot of them don't recognize me like that. You know what I mean? He said, probably that's in here. He said, but I stayed beefing with them Weezer, man. He said, you know, I had the dreads on the street. He said, man, I stayed beefing with them, man. He's like, but I don't care if they recognize me or not. But he said, either way, I ain't gonna be in the cell window. So that's why I can't have bro in the cell. So I'm like, I mean, like, you might go tell bro he got to lead in, you know what I mean? I'm like, I told my man, like, we might got to run with we might go have the red team behind this stuff, y'all. So boom. He was like, man, I ain't scared. Bro went back up the steps like, bro ran up them steps. He get to his cell, he was like, so we coming up the steps slow. We right there. You know what I mean? So we going up the steps. I'm like, man, cause I'm thinking he about to wreck the dude, cause I'm like, dude ain't gonna go for that right there. So he like, hey. By the time I get up the steps, I hear, hey, look, bro, like, for real, bro, like, tell the police you can't be in here, bro. Red team member was like, what? He was like, telling me, he's like, man, I ain't checking in, man. Who was you, man? You check in. He was like, this my cell. What you mean, this my cell? I ain't checking in. Dude was like, well, I ain't checking in. Like, what you got a problem with me for what? What's up? Dude was with it. Dude was like, what you got a problem with? What's going on? What's up? Ace was like, man, look, all I'm saying is, man, I don't rock with y'all, man. Like, I ain't got no problem with y'all, but I don't rock with y'all, man. So, like, man, I just want you out my cell. Dude was like, man, I ain't going nowhere. Dude was like, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, man. I'm like, it's y'all crazy, man. So, like, I didn't really want to, you know, like I'm there for him. But you got to be a man, though, in everybody's eyes first, though. Like, you can't push this type of tension and think it's going to be like, yo, we here to take over. No, you still got to be a man about everything that you talking about right now, man. So, like, we wanted to take back slightly, though. Like since he's been in our pod, like, Ace was definitely a serious person, but, like, he was one of those guys from the city. He was one of those guys from our town that basically came from a family that, you know, like, they really take care of him. Like he didn't really want for nothing. Like, he didn't have to never worry about commissary. He never had to worry about how he can get his la. He can buy it. Like, bro was a lot. And, like, I never really seen him in action, even though I knew he was a serious guy. But still, though, man, like, right now at this particular moment right here, man, you got to stand on what you talking about, y'all. So boom. So he with it, though. He like, yeah, like, I can't be a dude. Like, yo, I ain't going nowhere. So as the dude was saying it, like, we was already up there. So you started seeing the red team. I guess they heard it. So, like, the one dude from the red team that's kind of like the leader of the block, he pull up, he come upstairs. So when he came upstairs, his other homeboy sleep on that side of the tier on the top 10. Then he came down there. So now all us standing by 26. So we all standing right there. So dude, like, so when he seen his red team come down there, he was like, man, he told me I gotta get out the cell. I just came out the hole, man. He wildin'. I ain't going nowhere. He go somewhere. What's wrong with him? I ain't going nowhere. So Ace was like, yeah, you gonna go. Yeah, you gonna go. So the red team dude was like, yo, like, what he do though? Why you don't want him in your cell? So I'm like, look, man, bro said he don't want him in his cell, man. Red team was like, yeah, I understand that, Weezer, but still though, man, you just can't kick a nigga out. Ain't no other cells in here. So I'm like, man, this I ain't really know what to say. I'm like, yo, so I'm like, basically like, yo, I ain't want to sound too petty. But I'm like, yo, so look, what y'all gonna wreck or what? I was the first one to say that because it was just too much talking going on. It was too much debating. The booth is kind of like right there. We all on the railing, standing by the door. We all right, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, is y'all gonna wreck or what, man? Like, what's good, man? Like, y'all wreck then. You know, bro, you know what I mean? Because I kind of really wanted to see what bro talk about anyway, though. Like, I kind of wanted to see him in action anyway, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. So I'm like, bro, y'all rumble then. Like, bro, if it's like that, like, he was like, Ace was like, shh. He threw his shirt off. He was like, I ain't got no problem rumbling. Yeah, I ain't got no problem when he pulled his pants up. He got a back in the cell. The new dude that just came in, the red team, he was like, shh. Man, he took he had the little scrub joint on. He took his joint on. He was like, shh. He backed up. Red team was like, yo, his man was like, yo, man, come on, bro. He was like, bro, I ain't going nowhere, bro. I've been in the hole too long, fighting for this jump. I'm like, crazy, man. So they square off in the jump, y'all. This is my word. They square off for a minute. It was one of them jumps like everybody trying to like test each other out like this. I look at Ace. Ace jump look pretty. Ace moving around in the cell. He like if we was a crowd at a boxing match, we were like, boom, boom, somebody swing this word. It was like this for like a minute, like. And I'm like, man, Ace, what you doing? So we all right there. Next thing you know, they clash. Boom, 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 boom. Then I jump rumble. I'm like, I'm watching them rumble. Like they throwing them hands. And I'm looking at Ace. Ace know how to fight. But that red team member really knew how to fight, y'all. So boom. And it was crazy to watch my man lose a fight, but he did. He lost the fight, man. They sat there, boom, boom, boom. Like it wasn't really no wrestling. It was all clutching. But the dude just knew how to clutch better. The red team member knew how to clutch better. So he clutched Ace up, boom, 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 boom. So after like 3 rounds of that, We finally went in there like, oh, y'all good, bro. Y'all good, bro. Chill out. Y'all good, bro. They were like, all right. We grabbed Ace. Ace was like, yeah, he gotta get out my cell. Dude was like, man, look, you weak, man. You weak, man. You lucky, man. You lucky. They was like, man, look, y'all done fought, man. Let that jump go, Ace. Ace was like, nah, I ain't letting nothing go. Nah, he gotta get out the pod. So like, it was just like a big scene of stuff. So the red team member dude was like, yo, come on. He grabbed a new dude. They shoot down the steps, they dip. So they left us up there with Ace. I'm like, Ace, man, look. He in the mirror looking at his eye. I'm like, yo, your joint ain't messed up, bro. I was like, you all right, bro. You rumbled though, bro. That's all that mattered. He was like, no, we was like, man, he kept grabbing me. I wanted to say, no, he didn't. Like, the man just got great, like, technique. Like, he know how to move you to where he want to punch you at, man. Like, that's what I wanted to say, but I didn't, though, man. But he was like, no, man, jump crazy, Weezy, man. I don't want him in the cell, man. I'm telling you, man. That's why I don't, you know what I mean? I ain't got time for that. I'm like, yo, bro, listen. Like, for real, bro, like he's gone now. But I'm like, bro, you just fought a dude that you ain't got no problem with, bro. I said, man, that junk look wild, man. I'm just letting you know, man, that junk look wild. He was like, man, what you want me to do, Weezy, man? I don't want to be around dudes in the cell that shot my peoples. What do you mean they shot my peoples, man? I said, he ain't do that, man. He said, yeah, but what he represent did. What he represent? Man, I can't stand them niggas, Weezy. I was like, bro, so I don't know what you gonna do, because dude look like he might ain't be trying to just give it up like that, bro, and just like you can have the sale. Like, I don't think he was like, well, man, well, you know what then? I'm gonna tell him he can have the sale. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, he can have the sale. And I watched bro go down the steps. Bro went to the booth on everything. Bro went to the booth. He put his, you don't even supposed to go past the little line, but Sus's bootleg at the moment. He went and grabbed the bars. He kind of a little tall dude. He grabbed the little bars where the booth at. You gotta kind of talk up. He was like, and the lady came to the bars and he said something to the lady, you know what I mean? So we all come down the steps like, freak bro doing? Next thing you know, you hear, yeah, police noise. You see the sergeant, CO come upstairs. They come upstairs like, what you need? They would have took him in the office. He start talking. My word, he start talking. I don't even know if they noticed he had like the little mark on his face or not. But when they came out the office, man, it's my word. It was they called the dude that sleep in cell 8, which was one of the red team members. You know what I mean? They called him. And then when he called him, I seen Ace pull up on him. Like, we all watching this from afar, just watching Ace in action. Like, the interaction with the cops, the interaction with the lady in the booth, like leaving us upstairs by his room to go do a rogue mission, by the way, man. Like, we was just all watching this and like I'm in the fucking awe. Like, this shit is crazy. He go holler at the red team member himself after he say he don't like niggas, but I don't know what he was saying. But the red team member was like, he shook his head like, and then Ace dipped off and he went to go holler at the red team member roommate. The red team member roommate was this little slim old head dude, you know what I mean, that already slept on the top bunk. See, Ace wanted the bottom bunk still too. He go holler at him. I guess the old head was like, cool, you can move in the room. Sergeant talked to all of them. Next thing you know, you see his roommate, the one he just fought, he watching it from the cut too. He just watching it jump. Just staring at it, looking like, what's going on here? The sergeant called all parties into the office. Next thing you know, everybody came out and had to move, y'all, so boom. I seen Ace go get his stuff. Ace moved to cell 8. His roommate stayed upstairs in cell 26, which was a good cell. And the red team member that was in cell 8 moved upstairs with the new dude, the new red team member, man. And everything was good. It's like, that kind of like alleviated a little bit, man. Like, my other homeboy, he rocked with the red team member that I was telling y'all that was up there holding dude down. So my homeboy pull up on me the next day after the move was done. Now, by the way, we don't agree with what he was doing. We don't agree with that, man. That move was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable play that he did, by the way, man. Like, by how I'm making that happen with the police so swiftly and crafty. Like, I had to tip my hat, but still, though, I still put that in the cabinet, man. You know, I can't forget about that move. That was a little shaky on the low. But when my homeboy called me, he was like, yo, look, man. He was like, look, man, I just hollered at such and such. He talking about the red team member. When the dude, I said, like leader in the pod, he was like, yo, I just hollered at the red team member dude, man. He was like, man, for real. He was like, yo, goddamn, just make sure y'all keep Ace away from dude. He was like, because if he do some old sneaky shit that they still in the pod, he was like, look, that's when everybody gonna go. I'm like, shit. I said in my head, like, we all can go. I don't give a fuck. But still, though, like, Ace didn't have a good reason. Y'all already know I'm not somebody that jump out there if it's not a good cause. Like, that's just not what I'm into. But still, though, like, just to hear that they talking about they'll jump Ace, like, I felt like that could never happen, y'all. So, boom. That's how I'm feeling. Like, it gotta be a one-on-one. I don't care what's going on, but it is real talk, though, man. Like, the Ace can't do no sneaking. Ace can't do nothing that kind of like, you know what I mean, that'll jeopardize on some BS kind of like, you know what I mean? Like he can't do nothing like that. So with all this going on, it was another high-ranking red team member that came up to Sussex too, that was from Norfolk. Now, this guy was actually from the same neighborhood that the dude Ace was from. Now, he knew Ace. He knew Ace, and at first, this dude wasn't even in our building. So I seen the dude at first when we was all in the big yard, and he was on the yard in 2 buildings. So I seen him, he was in 2 buildings. But you know, I've been gone a minute, so I don't know all the gangsters that's from Norfolk. And I feel young, so like dudes filling me in like, yeah, that's such and such, such and such, that's from such and such. Man, he red team game, you know what I mean? Da 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 da. So dudes fill me in about the jump. So I see dude, I don't know him, I don't say nothing to him, but I see dudes talking to him like they know him. So when we come back to the pod, I seen Ace. Ace was just looking, you know what I mean? Like, he was looking crazy. So my man that said something. So my man like, yo, what's up, bro? They said dude from your hood, you don't know him? Ace was like, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I know him, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know him, man. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, yo, what's up with you beefing with him? What you got, be on point? Ace was like, nah, we ain't never had no beef on the street. He was like, I know him. Like, we almost family. Like, we came up together. We went to middle school and high school. He's like, I know him. So like, nah, it ain't, like, even though he with that I don't like it ain't me and him never had that type of tension. We never had that type of tension. So he was like, that John crazy. So I'll say like a week later, next thing you know, dude ended up moving to 4 building. So now like when you in the building, like you still can move around in the building. So it was a lot of red team members in our pod. So dude 229 in our block one day, and I seen him and Ace having a conversation. I seen it. Ace was nice and calm. He wasn't at the demeanor he always showed, kind of like when the red team members is around and all of that, man. But him and dude would jive having a conversation. You would see him talk to dude. So after dude that dipped out the pod, we had went to the child hall. And before we even left out to go past our pod, like we looked in the dude, because the dude moved to 4D. He was at the door. He was trying to get Ace attention. So Ace went to the door and talked to him. So Ace caught back up with us when we went to the child hall. So we sitting at the table eating. I was just like, yo, I was like, man, that's crazy. I was like, man, what dude? I said, you a dude, cool, it's super cool, ain't you? He was like, man, I told you we ain't had no problems, Weezy, man. Like, you know, me and him, all right, we like family. So yeah, I rock with dude. Like, you know, I said, man, you talk like you hate the red team though, man. He was like, I do. He said, but him though, he said he like fam. I said, bro, you know how many people is like that? I bet you like members, like gang members, anybody, like they go through this type of stuff everywhere around the world. Like, yo, man, my cousin in it. My cousin, I'm beefing my cousin with the ops, or this is like, just imagine of all the stuff that go on. I was like, bro, that's crazy. I said, listen, that go to show you, man. Like, I said, that dude that was in your cell, I said, you probably could have let him stay in there. I said, dude ain't even from where we from. I said, he's not even from where he from. So he had nothing to do with what you had going on, bro. He was like, man, I feel you. That was his first time actually saying that he feels somebody. Pause, kind of like from the information that we was telling him about. You didn't have to do all that with the red team, man. He was like, man, you know what I mean? He was like, when I get out there, I'm gonna have to keep my composure, man. Like, everybody be talking to me, man. You know what I mean? That's what bro was just talking to me about. Like, when I get out there, I can't spaz out because there's too many of them. There's too many of them Weezy. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Right though, bro. I said, you can't get out there and think you just gonna be out there wilding out, bro. I said, every neighborhood got them people in there, bro. So like, you know, I'm locked up and I'm hearing about it and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing who's coming into prison from every neighborhood in Norfolk, man. It was red team game, y'all. So boom. So I had to give bro that advice, man. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, bro, they right. Don't go out there with that nonsense, bro. Like, it's no need to, man. Like, it's no need for you to even take that type of action out there, man. He was like, all right, that's what's up. He was like, yeah, but I still don't rock with them, though, man. He was like, as long as they stay out my way, I ain't got no problem with them, man. You know what I mean? But he was like, you know what, though? He was like, I ain't even gonna have time for that Weezy, man. He was like, 'cause I'm going home to get this money. He was like, I'm going home to get this money. So bro started showing me pictures of his peoples. His peoples lived in Florida. Now, he had family in Florida. He was from the town, but he had family in Florida. You could tell, like, the people that, they had kind of looked like they was Panamanian. I don't know what they were. They had looked like they was something, like Latino something, man. But he was saying it was his people. You could tell they would have black in them, too. You know what I mean? But he was showing me the pictures, and I'm looking at it, and you could tell all these people got bread. Like, you can see it. Like, man, they got some, by the cars, by the, you know what I mean? The way they dress, the jewelry, everything. You could tell they had some money. So he was like, I'm going home to get with them. He was like, for real, I ain't been around them in years since we was young. But he was like, man, they winning in Florida. So he was like, he told me to get down there. He was like, man, look, they got the Lala, they got the white. He was like, man, I'm going out there to shoot my shot. He's like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm trying to, like, he was like, they going out there to paint the town red. He's like, I'm going out there to paint the town green. I was like, bro, listen, this do your thing, be careful. You know what I mean? He was like, look, bro, yeah, that's a lot. So bro, time was getting short. But he had told me his plans, man. So like, when it was finally time for bro to go, it was you know, I seen dudes go home a lot, man. But like, you know, me and him been in the block a while now. We was in 4C a little second. So like, I just had to really give him this type of advice, man. I just was like, yo, I was like, man, look, bro, man. I dapped him up because, you know, we all be right there at the door before they tell him to dip out. You know what I mean? So we was all by the door. But I dapped him up. I was like, look, bro, man, don't go out there and let the red team trick you up, man. I was like, bro, it ain't that serious, bro. I said, man, go out here and get you some money and just stay out the way, bro. That's all you do, bro. He was like, I got you. He said, man, I ain't gonna let him trick me up, man. I ain't gonna let him trick me up, man. I said, bro, listen, bro. Stay out there, bro. Stay out there, bro. I said, if I need something, I can call you. Like, yeah. He was like, yeah, bro, once I get situated, he was like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be in Florida, though. But he was like, look, though, bro, hold it down, though, bro. They call his name. Bro, turned around, dapped us all up again. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, bro was headed out the door, y'all.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless.